Hey now, everybody, this is Drac with DDO Players. How's everybody doing tonight? This is DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest from the worlds of Dungeons & Dragons Online, Dungeons & Dragons, the tabletop, movies, games, comic books, whatever we feel like talking about. We're kind of a weird DDO podcast, but here we are. And I am joined by one of our... I think you have been on the podcast more than anybody else at this point. I would have to fact check that, but I think that is the fact. It's Evil Beaker.
Wow, holy cow. I didn't realize that. Okay, hey everybody.
I thought about that today. I will have to double check that, but I think you have been on more.
At least 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, that's I think you have been on as a guest more than anybody. I will fact check that and see, but happy Talk Like a Pirate's Day, if you're into that kind of thing. I was actually going to start the show with that, but then I didn't think I could keep it up, so I was like, forget it. I'm not going to do it.
No, I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like the whole time when I got home from work, I'm eating, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to open up the show Talking Like a Pirate. It's going to be fun. And then I was like practicing a little bit, and I'm like, this sounds too stupid. I'm not going to do this. So pretend that I did that. On the audio version of this, I might put something special at the end.
You know, you throw a couple of R's in there, and that's about all.
You know, R, matey, rum. You know, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Happy Talk Like a Pirate's Day. So, yeah, we are back. We haven't recorded a podcast for a long time. Let's talk about that for a second before we jump into game news. That is totally on me, folks. I am so sorry that the release schedule of this podcast has been screwed up. It's me. I've got stuff going on. I've got kind of personal, mental stuff, we'll put it that way, going on. I just got to get in a rhythm and get out of my own head and just start doing podcasts more.
Well, okay, so in your defense, though,
yes.
we've done Cruising with Drac for almost every Friday night.
True. I have been better about gaming, and well, we'll talk about it in later on the show too. And after we did Cruising with Drac, I have been playing 7 Days to Die.
Oh, that's right.
Every week too. So I have been getting better about not just sitting around doing nothing or watching TV or whatever, which, like I said, I just need to get out of my head more. But yes, so thank you. At least there's some glimmer of hope. So hopefully I'll get off my ass and we'll record a podcast more. But I do appreciate everybody that listens and everybody, you know, that has sent a message and says, hey, is everything okay? You guys going to do a show? So, yes, we will get back to a normal release schedule soon, hopefully. We'll see. Once again, it's totally on me, and I apologize, everybody. You guys are all awesome for listening. So thank you for that, and thank you for sticking through, and thank you for listening to this weird little podcast, which this one's probably going to be a weird one, but we'll see. We have a patch to talk about, though, in the game. Update 69.2 that was released yesterday as we record, Wednesday, September the 18th. The big thing in 69.2 is Gatekeeper's Grove has been updated. It's a little easier to navigate now.
Yeah, I went in it yesterday.
I was going to ask if you looked. I haven't looked at it yet.
It does. I mean, it obviously looks different, and it is kind of cool. It takes you a minute to get your bearings, but after that, I like the fact that they're condensing everything, and you don't have to search all the way around Stormreach to find entrances to this, that, and the other thing.
I pretty much had everything memorized, but there was a couple things that I always had to be like, now where's that again? Oh yeah, it's over on that corner. So yeah, they say adventurers have trodden down the grass in the grove, creating pathways to make it easier to find your way around. There's also some portal stones that have emerged in the grove that will lead to Evening Star Caverns in Wayloon Docks. Thank the Lord for that.
That is so much easier than having to log out, then log back in, you know, every time that you want to jump or something.
Last I knew, I thought the reason they could never do that was something to do with licensing and lore. So I wonder.
That's out the window now.
Yeah, I wonder how they. I will have to ask Cordovan about that, because I just remember that because people have been asking for that forever. It's like, hey, can you put like some kind of jump to Evening Star? And they never could because of. So yeah, I wonder what changed. But yeah, it's so much easier because, well, like a couple weeks ago, we were running the some of the Evening Star stuff. And when I logged in, I forgot to log into Evening Star. And I'm like, crap, I got to log all the way out and then log into Evening Star. So, yeah, this is so much nicer. So, yeah, just.
Yeah, if you don't have the key.
Yeah, which we don't on the characters we're running.
Characters.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, so there you go. Now, just go into Gatekeeper's Grove, Portal Stones, jump to either the caverns or Wayloon Docks. It is also a little easier to distinguish portals from each other. Some of the dense tree growth and rock ledge have been hauled away. So basically just some little... they're just kind of making it easier to get around in there. Far shifters for the Keep on the Borderland and Saltmarsh have also been scooted to the other side of the path. That's going to make it a little easier to see them both when you enter from the harbor. And then also an option has been added to the portal in Evening Star Caverns. In addition to taking you to your guild airship, which was awesome, the Demon Web or the Spinner's Prison in Kyber, it can now also take you to the Gatekeeper's Grove, which makes sense. The name of the portal has been updated to reflect various places that the portal can take you. The rate of reaching the named item table in the expansion, you notice I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want Beaker to make fun of me. So there. The wilderness has been raised. I guess that was a lot of people were saying named items in the wilderness out of the rare chest. Guess the drop weight was kind of low, so I guess they bumped it up a little bit. They also fixed a stuck spot in the northeast upper level of the Eberron Hall of Heroes, which I didn't know there was a
no idea.
Yeah, I didn't. I've never got stuck up at the northeast part that I can remember.
Somebody did.
I guess somebody or several somebodies in the quest Secrets of the Red Wizards, they fixed an issue where a door could fail to open when the player activated it. Oops. Death Host the Banquet quests corrected some spelling in Tyrnirst Hall in a couple spots. The tooltip alert for the VIP loyalty rewards now mentions who to speak to claim the specific award, which I like that as well because I had that problem last time.
Same here.
I was like, who do I talk to? Because there's so many people in here. And then Rights, however you want to say it, having fulfilled his scheduled delivery time window, is no longer available in the Hall of Heroes. And I'll be honest, I don't remember what he was giving.
Me neither.
He was giving something retroactively, I think, but I don't remember what it was. But the time is past, so it doesn't matter. So there you go, 69.2. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow night when we play to actually pop into Gatekeepers and take a look because I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Indeed. Well, as long as my internet doesn't crash.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that was something last week. Also in the game, there is, and this is kind of a little older news, but, since we didn't have a podcast, we're going to talk about it just a little bit. There's an official Discord now. So if you're a Discord user and you want to join the official Dungeons & Dragons online Discord, you can do so. I'll put a link in the show notes, how to get to it. Basically, you just click on the invite, go in. You do have to verify with a mobile phone number. That is kind of to cut down on some spammers, all of that. I know Cordovan on a couple weeks ago on his weekly Friday show did say that restriction might be lifted in the future because there's a lot of people that, it's like, I don't have a cell phone. I don't have a phone. I can't use this. So I guess that might be lifted, but for the time being, you got to have a mobile phone.
Or like me, where they say your phone is associated with another account, and it's really not.
Yeah, there's also that, which that's kind of a nightmare for you, but
I don't think that's ever going to get fixed. But if you look in the forums, there's a couple of people that have had the same problem, and this is a problem with Discord for years, and there's only one other Discord channel that I subscribe to that requires that. I get it. I mean...
Oh, I get it too, 100%.
Spamming is a horrible thing to try to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
In an online community.
Oh.
So I get it, but Discord's got to fix this problem. It's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. And I also... go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I also tried to use my Google, because I have a Google phone too, a Google number.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about trying that.
Oh, it won't let you. That is they said you can't use an online phone to.
Really? It actually has to be
Yeah,
a cellular phone.
it
Really?
actually has to
Interesting.
be a cell phone. Yep. Yeah, and I've had a Google number
Interesting.
for forever.
Oh yeah,
And
same.
I thought, okay, well, I can't. If my regular cell phone's goofed up, I'll try this other one. Nope.
Interesting. Huh.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said, I get why Standing Stones is doing this, and then I also get the people that are frustrated that can't join because maybe they don't have a cell phone, or like your cell phone is apparently tied to another account, which it's not, but Discord thinks it is. Yada yada yada. So hopefully they'll be able to drop that. But I guess overall, this was kind of a test to see how it was going to work out. And from what Cordovin has said, it's pretty much a rousing success. I mean, they really haven't had to do a lot of moderating. There are moderators that are on. They tried to get moderators from all around the world, so there would be moderators on pretty much all the time. And I guess they really haven't had to do a lot of moderating. I mean, people have been pretty cool, which is awesome. But of course, the DDO community as a whole is pretty awesome. So I can see that. And it's always pretty active from what I can tell. I haven't really
I'm on
participated
it.
much in
Yeah,
it, but
I'm on it right now. There's a few people on here.
yeah, there usually is, and then there's also like if you are doing like a pug, they have it set up to where you can start a voice channel and then invite like your pug. You can get an invite to just that channel, and you can do your pug and then leave. So that's kind of cool. So it's pretty awesome to see this, and I guess they like I said they were testing this with DDO. Sounds like they're probably going to do the same thing over for the Lotro community as well. So if you play both games, there'll be a official Lotro Discord coming at some point. Then elsewhere, game wise, speaking of Talk Like a Pirate Day, Crystal Cove's back. Started today, apropos as it is. It's going to run through September the 29th. So go get some gems. Keep some kobolds alive. I'll be honest. I know this is going to be a controversial statement. People are probably going to flame me, but whatever. I don't really like Crystal Cove that well.
I like it just to go out there to get the elemental gems for the low level characters. But I mean, you can get slayers out there too. I mean, you could pretty.
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't think about that. Yeah, you could
You could
do
fill
slayers.
up on the pirate slayers or whatever, the hobgoblins and
But-
orcs and whatever.
And then if I'm wrong, shoot an email at podcast@ddoplayers.com and tell me why I'm wrong. But I don't think the rewards are all that great. At least not anymore. I mean, at one point they used to be, maybe. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Like I said, if I'm wrong, podcast@ddoplayers.com. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, that's it for game news, actually. Not a lot going on, but we have some news from the dungeon, though. Oh boy, we have some news. And there might be a Hasbro rant, so stay tuned.
Isn't there always?
But yeah, at this point, yes, there is. Well, it's because it's Hasbro. They're stupid. They do dumb stuff.
Well,
We'll get to the latest dumb stuff here in a second. But the 2024 not 5E.236, whatever the color, it's so stupid.
well, a lot of people are calling it 5.24.
Okay, that's kind of funny, actually. I hadn't heard that. That's pretty funny.
I've actually seen that quite a bit.
That's pretty funny. I've just heard people call it not 6th edition. Or they call it, it's 6th edition, not 6th edition. But yeah. Anyway, the 2024 Player's Handbook, which is what the official title of it is officially released now. Should be available everywhere. All your game stores should have it.
Actually, it's not available everywhere. It's not available in the Netherlands, and it's not available in Hungary.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, there was a controversy going on where they were supposed to have them printed and shipped there or printed there, and they didn't for a reason that I'm not quite sure of yet. And people are getting refunds of the physical book if they got it through D&D Beyond. So they got their digital, but not their physical.
I thought that was just the alternate cover. I didn't realize it was the actual.
No, there's the actual books too. Now there is a problem apparently with the alternate
Yeah,
cover.
that there is an issue with those. I guess there was the print run was really bad. I guess they had a lot of bad prints and they didn't like how many. So anyway, that's a totally different situation. So yeah, but I didn't realize. I thought that whole like Netherlands thing was just the the alternate FLGS cover. I didn't realize it was
Yeah,
the
I'm trying to find the article on it right now.
But
I didn't have it
so
ready.
new player's handbook. There's changes to how creation works. Some spell rules they changed. Some other mechanics changed a little bit. They adjusted some gameplay to streamline it. I use that in air quotes that nobody can see. We will do a full review of this. I've been pouring through this. Full disclosure, I've had this since before Gen Con. Wizards, WotC, Hasbro actually sent it to me, which I'm surprised they did. So I've had it forever. Like I said, since before Gen Con, I've been pouring over it. I will do a full review soon, hopefully. I'm still, like I said, I've been really, really reading it. It's compatible. This is where it gets confusing. You can use this with 5e, but it's confusing when you do because some of the stuff, like if you create a character with this book, some of the stuff is different and there's some spells that aren't available. So it's so confusing.
Yeah, it's compatible, but it's not as
Right.
basically what everybody's saying. I did find the article.
Okay.
Yeah, it started with the special cover.
Okay, yeah, that's
but they've also said the standard edition is also suffering from pre-order issues.
really, I didn't know that. Okay, I just knew that the special cover was. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. But your friendly local game store should have it. If not, they should be able to order it. Most of your online retailers have it as well.
Well, and as you know, I texted you the other day when I was in northern Wisconsin, and somebody had it on their game show a day early.
Yeah. Yeah, so you might have been able to get it early even. We'll see. So there you go. If you're into the 2024 Player's Handbook, it's out now. Look for a review coming soon-ish, hopefully. Also coming soon, well in 2025 at least, there are some new D&D products the Wizards Hasbro announced. They do a thing they call D&D Direct every year. It used to be live, but the past couple of years it's just been video that they just release. I don't know why they don't do it live anymore, but whatever. I'm sure it's cost cutting, maybe.
Well, no, because it's the last one they did was the big. I mean, it was a big video presentation. I mean, it was pretty well done choreography and all.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they do. I mean, it is pretty well slick produced. I'll give them that. But it used to actually be live though. It was like a live event, and they would stream like all the quote unquote celebrity games, and then like in between the games they would do the announcements, and then go back to another game, and then do more announcements. But now it's just like I think this year it was like a 30-minute video, 25, 30 minutes, where they announce upcoming products, at least through 2025. The three things they announced were there's a dragon anthology that's coming out. Sounds just like it is. It's going to dig deeper into the world of dragons, offering players detailed information on different dragons, and then you're going to get 10 short adventures featuring dragons, go figure. Slated for release in summer of 2025. Then one of the little controversial things, because they can't do anything without some controversy, is they're updating the starter set. Which
okay, so I'm gonna rant here first.
Okay, go ahead.
The first 5th edition starter set was
amazing, amazing, hands down.
Yep. Second one had its bright spots. Not as good as the first one. Third one was horrendous. And as you know, I picked it up on clearance at Walmart for $9. And if it wasn't for the dice, I would have asked for my money back.
think you paid $8 too much.
Yeah. But My big problem, and and of course, if you listen to Cruising with Drac, I've already said this down
Mhm.
there, is the new updated starter set they're going back to Keep on the Borderlands
Yep.
for at least the sixth time in recorded history. Boy, if somebody would come up with something original, I think I'd fall off my chair instead of redoing all the old stuff that was done 30, 40 years ago. But
I
we'll see. Show me what you got, I guess.
I don't understand why they're going back. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Keep on the Borderlands, but you know darn well they're going to screw it up. Look at what
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, look at what they've done with every other old setting that they have gone back to, other than Ravenloft, is the only one. Curse of Strahd was flippin' amazing.
I thought that some of the stuff that they did for Tales of the Yawning Portal was good.
Okay, yeah.
I actually liked. There was some stuff in that book that was actually pretty good. But the Infinite Staircase, I did see a copy of it. Looked through it. I wasn't impressed.
Right.
It's like they're just going to keep going back and back and back to the old stuff because nobody's got an original idea that they want to come up with or take a chance on. You know, they're trying to draw on the nostalgia of this, that, and the other thing to try and sell products, and I that just screams not creative to me. So,
Well, and we have talked about this on Cruising with Drac, and not just when we've just been talking, that they just don't have any original ideas at this point, I think.
no.
And they just keep going back and they just keep killing all of this classic stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise me. Maybe this will be an awesome update to Keep on the Borderlands. I'm going to keep an open mind, but I don't have high hopes.
Yeah. If you want original, creative, adventures or source material, I mean, check out some third-party publishers like Paizo and
Right.
Press and some of these other ones that are up and coming. You know, they're doing much cooler original adventures, than just retreading old stuff.
I don't know.
And that's all I have to say.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about what else they're going back to, and that's the Forgotten Realms. They're gonna have a Forgotten Realms Player's Guide and a Forgotten Realms Adventures Guide. These are going to be available late 2025. Player's Guide is going to allow players to create unique characters tailored to the realms with new subclasses, feats, spells, and more. And then the Adventure Guide is going to provide DMs with detailed information on regions of the realms, including Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, and classic fantasy-inspired towns.
Well, I'm hoping that they're going back to like Shadowdale and the Dale Lands.
I hope so.
Because technically, that's where a lot of the Forgotten Realms stuff started, and there's some way cool stuff back there, but they seem to be sticking more to the Sword Coast than anything else. But let me say this: so they didn't do this kind of product for when 5th edition came out. There was a 3rd edition and there was a 4th edition, Forgotten Realms books, and they did okay, but. Are they going to delve from those? Or are they going to come up with new stuff? I'm not sure. I mean, it's probably going to be a thing with showing what you got. But as I mentioned with you a couple of times, so isn't the new DMG was all hyping on Greyhawk. Oh, there's going to be Greyhawk stuff to DMG, but now they're turning around and they're doing a Forgotten Realms product. So what happened to Greyhawk? They're just going to touch on it a little bit in the DMG and then nothing? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. Like I said, who knows? Maybe there's a Greyhawk thing coming like this. If this does well, they'll do Greyhawk. Maybe. I guess we'll see.
I would be excited for that.
I would too. Actually, I would too. I would love to see them actually go back to Greyhawk and actually treat it with respect and do it correctly. I guess only time will tell. See what I did there? Time will see what I did. Yeah, Time Magazine is going to have a 50th anniversary special for D&D. It's on the cover. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, there's going to be a picture of it. If you're listening to the audio, go over to the website and you can see it. It's this special edition Time Magazine Dungeons and Dragons, the game that changed the world.
Of course, they got to put a 20.
Well, of course,
on the 20-sided die. It'd have been cooler if it was a 1.
It would.
Because WotC keeps rolling ones.
I like what you did there.
I will say this about this issue. The there's some friends of mine that have been looking for it, and they can't find it.
Yeah, there's no release date for it. You would.
No, it's out.
Oh, it's out.
But
See, I haven't seen it anywhere because I've been looking.
Exactly. It's like a limited run
Apparently.
of this, because there's a few people, friends of mine on Facebook, gaming people that have been searching for it, and they haven't been able to find it. So I would be curious to know. It says, unfortunately, release dates and purchase information are currently unavailable.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but I know that some people have found it already.
Let's see.
I don't know what the deal is.
Let's see. I'm looking.
But that could be just somebody releasing it early and they're not supposed to. But there's been a lot of people that I know have been searching for it and haven't been able to find it.
Yeah, I just looked on their actual Times website, and it says release date TBD. So that is so weird. Yeah.
Because I know people that have said they've gotten a copy of it.
Huh.
So,
yeah, and I've been looking for it, and I haven't seen it yet. I assumed it wasn't out yet. Well, if you see it, let us know, and I will let you know if I see it, and I'll grab you a copy if I see it. There you go.
I don't know.
You're like, I don't care about it enough to actually own it.
Well, find a couple for yourself and resell it again in 20 years.
It's just kind of cool that, the game that we used to get made fun of for playing is actually on frickin' Time Magazine now. It's
Sure.
like,
Oh,
I mean,
I'm
cool.
I'm happy that it's become what we always wanted it to be.
Right. Well,
So,
until Hasbro got a hold of it, but that's besides the point.
In that respect, I mean, growing up and liking D&D, I mean, people, you got made fun of. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
It's just
all through school. I did. I was the weird D&D kid.
And I mean, when I used to do Gen Cons and stuff like that with TSR, and even before that, we would have people come up to us and say, hey, thank you for running this con, thank you for running this game or something like this, because people couldn't find people to play with. And it's funny when you think of it like that, because nowadays you can go online and get in a game, pretty, I don't want to say pretty easily, but respectfully easily, and it's different. I mean, we used to just sit in awe when we'd see like a girl playing it, or a lady, a girl.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
Playing at a game, or a person of color, something like that, because there wasn't a lot of that back then, but now, it's a complete opposite. So,
I just talked about that with my friend at Gen Con this year. We were walking through the halls of Gen Con, and I'm like, can you remember even, I don't know, 8, 9, maybe 10 years ago at Gen Con, when if you would see like a family, or you would see a girl, it would be like, oh my gosh, they play games. That's awesome. And now it's like just normal to see families or to see, women in the hobby, which is awesome. But it's just like the way the hobby has changed over, the last, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years, is just awesome.
Well, I think if there was one thing that really made a difference, it was probably the open gaming license, because the open gaming license allowed the game to expand more. And then in doing that, it attracted more people. I mean, that's one of the reasons. I think.
Right.
I mean, there's a couple other ones, but I think, the advent of the internet was also huge with that. But yeah, that's hopefully when we're dead and buried 50 years from now, somebody will be saying something nice about D&D for the 100th anniversary.
Well, we hope. If Hasbro CEO has his way, I don't know if the future's so great. Let's talk about it, Ginny. We were going to. Yeah, Chris Cox was recently at a Goldman Sachs event. It's like an investor type hoopla thing. And he kind of opened up a little bit what he thinks about the future of D&D, and that includes AI.
Yeah, he said everybody's using AI now. And
yep.
He says, and apparently the 30 to 40 people he games with on a regular basis. All right, dude, I'm going to ask you right now. On a regular basis, how many people do you game with?
Right.
Well, 30 to 40? Come on.
No. 10, maybe?
Maybe? Yeah, come on, give me a break.
Right, yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, but he says that we all use AI now. I know that there's a lot of people that use AI to generate like portraits of their character and stuff like that. But
Sure.
he's talking about generating character backgrounds and
Oh yeah.
making encounters and like whole adventures.
He
And
yeah.
it's crazy.
He highlighted that apparently Hasbro. He just said Hasbro, but I'm assuming this includes Wizards of the Coast as well. Is actually using it currently, and he said some of the ways they're doing it very playful. He kept saying it's a playful use of AI. And I'm like, what the hell does playful mean? But anyway, yeah, user-generated content. Content gonna enable players to create their own content, stories, and characters. Streamlined new player introductions, providing AI-powered tools to help new players learn the game and understand the mechanics. Emergent storytelling. This is where it gets interesting and scary. Generating dynamic and unpredictable narratives to evolve based on player choices and actions. Read that. Your AI Dungeon Master is coming to your virtual tabletop.
And how long ago did they say, "Oh, we're never going to do
Oh yeah.
AI Dungeon Master"?
Oh yeah. Oh, like not too long ago. Oh no, we're not using it. We don't want any AI. And now we're like, oh yeah, we're playfully using AI. It's very playful. If you want to watch a good video, I just watched it today. Discourse just did a video on this. Watch it. It's very good. She is so good at what she does.
And she does some funny stuff.
She does. She does.
I will say one thing. So, and I've said it before on this show and when we do Cruising with Drag, I am really high on the new Tales of the Valiant 5th edition variant. And Cobalt Press put out a thing today. It went out in their general email. I sent you a copy.
Oh, you did? Yeah. I kind of glanced over it. I was having a hell day at work, but yeah.
Yeah. So there was two things in that kind of revolve around what we just talked about. Number one thing was there's an article about how does Tales of the Valiant compare to the new 5th edition, and it's a very interesting read because Tales of the Valiant and their mechanics have been out for a while now, and some of them are modified from other Cobalt Press products that have been out for a while now. Well, you'd be surprised to know that some of the mechanics were basically copied and put into the new D&D 2024. So that's an interesting read in its own. But then the head bottle washer, Wolfgang Bauer of Cobalt Press, came up and made a flat out statement. We have never used AI and we will never use AI for any of our products, period. And, if I know Wolf, it's because he believes what we always, were taught back at TSR was, hey, if you want to run games and do content for D&D, you got to be a creative person. And AI is not, it's going to take jobs away from other people, regardless of if it's gaming or not. And there's a lot of people that are very against that. And someday there may be laws against it. Who knows? I mean, you don't never know where that all that stuff is going to go. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this. But for now, yeah, we'll look and see what happens. Yep. Who knows? I just some days I just see some of the stuff that he in particular says and does, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Did you read the part where he talks about the game he's playing?
No, I don't. If I did, I don't remember.
Okay, you know what? Go out there and read the article for yourselves, guys. I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay.
It's actually a topic I don't want to talk about.
Okay, there's your homework then. Okay, so go. I will try to link like one of the original articles on it, and we'll discuss at a later time.
Sounds good. Maybe
over some food, because there's a new D&D product coming out called Heroes Feast: The Deck of Many Morsels. This is kind of based off, there's been several D&D cookbooks where they take like some recipes from the game or recipe inspired by the game. And they have released, I think, there's been like 2 cookbooks.
Yep.
And couple drink books.
And you can find them at Walmart. They're the only gaming things that Walmart still has on the shelf.
Which is amazing.
I know, right?
Yeah, so there's a new product. This one is a little different because hence the term deck of many morsels, kind of a play on the deck of many things, of course. So this is going to be a portable cookbook, you could say. It's got 50 beautifully illustrated cards in it. It's going to have various dishes and drinks inspired by the world of D&D. From some of the meals you're going to find in there are going to be an Underdark forge board, a halfling tea sandwich, to some whimsical treats like an exploding cheese puff and butternut beer. There's something for everyone in this. Can't really call it a book because it's more like a deck of cards. This, of course, is from Kyle Newman and John Peterson and Michael Whitweir and Sam Whitweir, who are the writers of all of the cookbooks as well. So they have created some new recipes, and I think there's some of the beloved recipes from the books that are in this too, but these are on illustrated cards to make it a little easier for you, so you don't have to really have like cookbook. If you're cooking, you can just grab the card out. It says the deck's compact size make it perfect for taking on adventures, are like if you're heading to a friend's house for game night and you want to embark on a real world quest for inspiration. Beautiful illustrations. Each card has stunning photographs that will make your mouth water and transport you to the world of D&D. There are 10 brand new recipes featuring 25 exclusive photographs. You'll discover dishes that you won't find in any other D&D cookbooks. This is going to be available on October the 1st for $25.99. I would assume this will be at Walmart too, because I know you said the cookbooks are. Also, this will be on Amazon, whatever. And if I can get off my butt, I actually got this today. I didn't even know they were going to send this to me. But they actually sent it to me because I came home and I had a package and I'm like, what is this? And I seen who it was from. And I'm like, they didn't say they were sending me any new books or anything. And I opened it up and it was actually this. So I'm going to shoot a video on this. It looks, I haven't like opened it yet because I'm actually going to do like a quote unquote unboxing video, but just from the little blurbs I've seen on the back and some of the illustrations I've seen on the back, it looks really cool. So yeah, so I will get a video coming soon on this.
Just make sure you post it after the product goes on sale so you don't get your YouTube channel.
This is 10 Speed Express Penguin Random House. They're not quite that bad. There is an embargo though. I have to look to see when the embargo is, but yeah. I can post it before, but yeah.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, that's what happened with the Player's Handbook when they sent it out. People did reviews and accidentally put shots of pages on their YouTube channel. And
remind me once we're off air to tell you something about that too.
Okay.
There's a funny follow-up story to that, but it's for off air only.
Oh boy.
So let's go to On the Tabletop. More D&D news, a lot of D&D stuff. There's a brand new D&D game that's coming out. This one is called Builders of Baldur's Gate. This is coming from WizKids. It's going to be available June of 2025, so you got a little bit of a wait for this one. They say in Builders of Baldur's Gate, players are going to take on the roles of powerful families, vying for control of the iconic city. Your goal is to expand your influence and prestige by building new businesses, gaining favor with the city's various factions, and strategically placing buildings to gain influence cubes. So it's kind of like a city builder, area control mishmash, I guess.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Sounds interesting. Once again, it's going to be available from WizKids, June of 2025. It didn't really say much else about it. I do like the cover of it, so...
yeah, the cover's kind of sharp, yeah.
could be good. So we'll see. The little blurb on the box says it's a game of construction, investment, and defense in Faerun's greatest city.
Well, I mean, for those of us who've been playing Lords of Waterdeep and the Ravenloft board game for a while, I mean, they do some good board games.
They do. They do. That is for sure. So we'll see how this one goes. We'll once I get more information on it, we'll talk about it for sure. But just keep that on your radar. If you, like you said, you do like all the other WizKids D&D games, I would think this one would be just as good. But I guess we'll see. The Strong National Toy Museum, they always do, every year they do Hall of Fame. They induct toys into their Hall of Fame. Well, they have announced the 12 toys that are running for the finalists this year. I can't wait to talk to you about these. These are some weird choices this year.
I got some things to say.
Okay, I figured you would. That's why I added this right before we recorded, because I got this press release and I'm like, ooh, we got to talk about this. So
the D&D tie-in is the Choose Your Own Adventure Path book.
Sure.
Although I can't tell which one it is by the picture.
It's let's see.
The Cave of Time, I think it is.
Let's see.
So I would have to look that up to see.
Let me see if I can blow the. But yes, you're right. It is the Cave of Time. And once again, if you're watching the YouTube, I'll have this up on here. But here you go. Here's your 12 finalists. And what happens is people go on and vote. And then 2 of these will make it into the. It's really weird how they do this, but
yeah.
So your classic toys are the balloon, just your regular old balloon.
I saw that and just started laughing.
I mean, I guess it's a toy. Sure, okay.
Yep.
The Hess toy truck, which it's weird that they actually call out Hess, which I looked it up because I didn't know what that was. Apparently, it's a gas station chain.
Yeah, it's a rare. This is a rare toy, a very rare toy.
And they made trucks, I guess. So okay, My Little Pony, sure. Stick horses, which is what it just sounds like. It's your horse that's on a stick, and you hop up and down like you're on a horse.
And for a kid who grew up in the late 60s and 70s, Stick Horse and Balloon are like my 1 and 2 pick.
Yeah. Well, it's the nostalgia. Come on.
Exactly. I mean, if the Slinky can get in, why can't
right. Why can't a Stick Horse? Damn it! And the trampoline rounds out the classic toy. Then in the game category, there is Apples to Apples, Phase 10, Sequence, and Pokemon.
Boy, that okay. Is Magic not in the Hall of Fame?
I think they're already in. I think.
Are they in? Okay.
I think they got in last year or the year before. I'm pretty sure. I would have to double check that, but I think Magic's already in.
Yeah, I was never a fan of Apples to Apples. I get it though. Phase 10 and Sequence, those are horrible choices. So I would have to go with Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I would choose too. And then, as you mentioned earlier, the Choose Your Own Adventure books. So this covers the whole series of books, which I love those books as a kid. So I'm all for these. Those were some amazing books.
And I don't know how much they reprinted those.
Yeah, I would have to look.
Yeah, I don't think they really did quite hardly any.
And I know for a while there was like some whole copyright deal with that because somebody bought it and then something happened and then there was a fight and the original people said no. I never said that the original publisher could sell that. I don't know. I'm not sure if that all got sorted out or not. Then technology category, we have the remote control car. Well, they say vehicle, so I guess trucks. Just any remote controlled vehicle.
Sure.
So be it a car, truck, plane, boat, whatever.
Hey,
sure.
The first hobby store that I ever went to, that's what they sold back in the day. That and the radio controlled airplanes and the gliders that you put together and kites, and then they had a little section for D&D. So.
Yep, that's exactly how. For the longest time until my FLGS opened, for the longest time, the only quote-unquote game store I had was a RC hobby store that had like a little small section of like they had a little bit of D&D and they had a little bit of board games. But it was just like this little small tiny maybe 5-foot section in the back of the store. Everything else was like RC cars and trains.
Yep. And trains, yep.
Yep. And then you walked and it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, a board game. Oh, D&D. So yeah, and then action figures, of course, the Transformers, which is just classic.
Yeah, and the movie's coming out tomorrow, and
Tie in perfectly. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it's a yeah, you know that's gonna.
So if you would like to make your voice known, I have a link over in the show notes in the article that's up on DDO Players where you can actually cast your vote. And then we'll see. It's usually like November is when they announce the winners. So we'll see who gets in. The balloon and the stick horse. Right there. There you go.
Yep. Those are my one and two.
You heard it here first, folks. All right, let's move on and see what's happening on the screen. It's not D&D this time, actually. It's Pathfinder. There is an upcoming Kickstarter for a new Pathfinder video game. Dragon's Demand is what it's called.
And they're saying there's a couple of videos out there on this based on some interviews that were done with Paizo over the last month or two. And this is going to be like a contender against Baldur's Gate, but it's also supposed to have more gaming stuff in it where you can actually use like the Pathfinder rules and like what are you doing for your 3 actions and like they do in the Pathfinder setting.
Yeah, they do say that they faithfully stuck in to the second edition rules.
Yep.
So if you're familiar with Pathfinder second edition, this CRPG is going to play exactly like that, and they're sticking to the rules. They're not, quote unquote, video gaming-fying it. It's going to be Pathfinder second rules.
Yeah, and a lot of the characters that you're going to be able to pick from are the iconic characters like Fumbus, the alchemist goblin, and Ezrin, the wizard, and a couple of the other ones. I don't know. This looks kind of cool. I got it on my Kickstarter watch list.
Yep, me too. Yeah, there's no. I haven't seen a start date for it. I looked when I got home to see if they released anything more about it, and there's no start date for the Kickstarter. But yeah.
Yeah, it says. There's just a notify me on launch.
Yeah, and then they did kind of tease some of the rewards that you're gonna get. There's some add-ons you can do. They're gonna do a lot of minis and some coins, and then they're going to have some 3D printable STLs so you can print your minis and bring your digital heroes into your tabletop game if you want. So interesting stuff coming up. You can go to dragonsdemand.com, which basically all that does is that takes you to the Kickstarter page. It's just like a little bumper to take you to the Kickstarter page. Then you can be notified when it launches, but we will definitely talk about it. It looks pretty interesting. Depending on the price, I might actually back this because I've enjoyed the other Pathfinder games. I have them, the Kingmaker and the whatever. Right, thank you. And then, this one is going to follow the, I can't see it in the article that I wrote. I forgot what game path they're following.
Oh, well, it's based on the Dragon's Demand is an old Pathfinder adventure, and it's kind of loosely based around that. Yeah,
and then it's also going to be featuring an expanded version of the Lost Omens setting. So that's it. So I'm got this on my radar for sure, and I think I might reach out to it's by a company called Oessian Studios, which I'm going to be honest. Let me look them up real quick. I don't think I know that name. Let's see what they've done real quick. This is riveting content, folks. Riveting. They've done a game called Tyrants of the Moonsea, Darkness over Daggerfort, which this is stuff for Neverwinter Nights. So, interesting. So they were doing Neverwinter Night 2 mod stuff. Yeah, everything they have listed on their website is Neverwinter Night 2 stuff. So this is like their first non-Neverwinter Night game. That's interesting. Oh, and they just updated their webpage, Kickstarter launching September 24th.
Oh, so next week.
So they just posted that today, as a matter of fact. So next week, there you go. We will definitely talk about it again and let you know once it's up, and we'll talk about pricing and all that and see if maybe it's worth it. Maybe we'll back it. Who knows? All right, let's jump into our week in gaming. want to go first this time? Let's mix it up.
Sure. Well, hey, my big thing is we've been doing Cruising with Drac. As long as we run tomorrow night, that'll be 22 shows.
I cannot believe we have done 22 already. That's crazy.
Yeah, and we went from like 4th level to 20th level, and then we reincarnated.
Yep.
Now we're back down. I think, well, honestly, you really can't even go to 1st level anymore. It's like you eat one gold rolled gem.
Right. All right.
So we started at 2nd level, and now we're 5th level. We finished all of the coin lords, so we got coin lord favor by doing waterworks and all the harbor stuff, and we did that with the special juice combo of Sphera and Beavis.
I gotta have them on the podcast.
And then we 2 weeks ago we finished up Waterworks 2 weeks ago, and then we started Salt Marsh, and my internet crept out.
It did. We got maybe two rooms into the first Salt Marsh quest, and
and burp.
Burp. He's gone.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, the other thing I got going on, guys, there's some stuff I'll let you talk about, but
sure.
Still running some Pathfinder 2E games with some folks. Enjoying that, and actually Sunday I'll be running another Marvel Multiverse RPG game, and I will also be running it at Gamehole Con, although the events are sold out. The ones that Matt and Forbick and I are running.
Awesome! Congrats for selling those out. That's awesome.
So yeah, no pressure.
No pressure at all. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Other than that, I've just been reading and writing. That's about it.
So yeah, other than the Cruising with Drac, which you talked about, we did do. Finally, we jumped back into Waterdeep Dwarves. That has been. How long have we been doing that now?
I'd have to go back and look. I think it was.
That's been a long
2018.
Yeah, I gotta say we've been
well, and to be fair, we were playing once a month, and then
right.
We get a cancellation. So we're playing roughly between 8 and 10 times a year, probably.
Yeah. So,
but I think we're gonna try to squeeze in some more coming up here. Real quick.
Still enjoying that. That is so fun.
Yeah. Although we did end last session with you and. Ignis in a little bit of trouble.
Yes, we have a little cliffhanger. We'll see. And for those keeping track at home, I'm still a dwarf.
Still a dwarf, yep.
I don't know what I have to do to get this stupid dwarf curse off me, but we'll see.
Maybe it's finished the adventure.
It could be. But I'm actually kind of excited because the last time that I actually played, then again, we won't discuss any of that, but I didn't play in the last, 1, 2?
We ran one without.
Okay, yeah, I didn't play in the last one, but the one before that, I found a new sword, and my sword just happened to be a little intelligence sword, and I had to, spend some time with it, learn about it, and it's got some little idiosyncrasies that might change my character a little bit.
Yeah, if you decide to keep it.
We'll see. I haven't used it in combat yet, so we'll see.
Well, there was a reason why it was where you found it.
Oh, that kind of makes sense knowing now what I know about the. Okay, that makes sense actually.
Yep.
And then, yeah. So, but I'm just enjoying that game so much. It's so fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are great. I like Brown.
Then tabletop. Actually had some friends over a couple weeks ago, and we played a bunch of tabletop games. Played the Arkham Horror card game. That was actually the first time I've ever played that. I enjoyed the heck out of that. I might actually pick that up because you can play that solo as well.
I see that on the store shelves a lot.
It's super fun, especially if you're into the whole, Cthulhu mythos and
sure.
Fantasy Flight just does so good with the Arkham horror files that they kind of call it the Arkham Horror Files universe because all of the investigators are show up in all of the games. So if you really like playing one investigator in the card game, you can also find them in all the other Arkham Horror Files games. So it's so fun. We won our scenario barely. We won it basically at the end, and it was kind of a fluke thing that we won it, but we did won it. And then I had picked up the new Horrified: The World of Monsters. My Target finally had it in stock. I had been looking forever for it, and they hadn't had it and had to have it. And I happened to go in Target one day, and I just thought, well, I'm just going to go take a little run by the board games and see what they have. Okay, I'll be honest, I actually went over to electronics to look at the vinyl first, but that's besides the point. And then I thought, well, I'm right here by the board games. I might as well look at the board games. And they had the new World of Monsters, so I bought that. Yeah, we played like 3 times, and it's not good.
Oh, no, because you were talking about that a while ago.
Yeah, I was super excited for it. It's not good. There is a certain monster, and now, of course, it's been a couple weeks. I can't remember which monster it was. I'm going to have to look it up. Next podcast, I'll correct myself here and say which one. One of the monsters that you play against is so overpowered, it's ridiculous. Like it's not fun. It's to the point where the monster pretty much is cheating at. It's so bad. And we played it and we lost horrible, and we're like, we can't be playing this monster right, because there's no way that monster is that overpowered. So we read the rules again, and we're like, no, we're playing it the way it's written. And then I went to look up some, to see if maybe they had like a fact to see if they have some errata and whatever. They did have some errata, but it was nothing to do about this monster. So I'm like, okay, all right. We'll try this again. So we played it again. Same thing. Lost horribly, and it was because of this monster. And we're like, no. So I'm like, okay, is it just because we haven't played any of the Horrified games for a while? Do we just suck this bad? So we broke out the original Horrified. And no, it is not. The original Horrified is still an amazing game. We had so much fun playing that. And it was nothing like this new one. And we won, but it was a pretty close, tight game, but we actually won. We only were playing against 2 monsters, but yeah, World of Monsters. We're gonna play it a couple more times, and then
Is there any errata online?
Yeah, no. Well, there is, but not to do with this monster, which I'm like, something's got to be wrong with this monster. But I see a lot of people on forum, like on the BGG forums and some other forums, complaining about this particular one. So I think they need to look at their rules and tweak some rules or something. But yeah, it was bad. And then we played Hero Quest. I said, let's play Hero Quest, because I've been dying to play Hero Quest. So we played that, and then what I did is I just had she who not shall be named, because if I say her name, she's going to talk. I just had her pick a random number between 1 and 8, and that was the adventure we did. I think she picked like 4, I think. So we just did that adventure. We won. That was pretty fun, though. And you'll appreciate this, Beaker, because of course I was playing the rogue, because me.
Yeah, because you never played anything.
Right. Me, rogue. So we were done. We had beat the boss. We had finished what we needed to do. All we needed to do was beat the boss, and then we had to get back to the entrance and exit the dungeon. So I'm like, but wait, guys, we have like a hallway down there, and there's a door at the end of the hallway. Let's go in that room. There could be treasure in that room. So they're like, why don't we just leave? Because we're done. And I'm like, well, you guys can leave. I'm going to go in this room. So I split off, go in this room. Yeah, almost got myself killed, because there was like 3 orcs in there, which were really tough to beat, but we actually beat them. And there was a treasure, so thank you very much. And then, so we went out of that room, went back in the hallway. I started moving to go down to work our way back through the dungeon to get to the exit. And then as soon as I stepped in one spot, 2 more doors popped up. And I'm like, look, there's 2 more doors down the hallway. So we ended up doing like 3 more rooms that we didn't have to do. It almost got killed in every one of them. It was great.
Yeah, sometimes clearing off the map can be really interesting.
Yeah. They were just looking at me like, "Are you serious right now? Like, we know where the exit is. Are you serious?" I'm like, "But treasure, rogue, but treasure." They're like, "Jesus." It was super super fun. I think everybody enjoyed it though. They were laughing at me because I was, I'm like, I'm just playing the rogue, man. I'm just playing my character. And then, as we talked about a little earlier, I have been playing 7 Days to Die again. The game, after 9-10 years, however long it's been out, is actually at version 1.0, and it's not in early access anymore. Craziness, right? But anyway, so I started our server back up, and we've been playing that. We're on day like 60 something, I think. We have been playing pretty consistently after we do Cruising with Drac, and then after that, I go play that for a couple hours. So,
well, the last time, one of the last times we played, you were like, was it Rent that was messaging you? Or
oh yeah,
he's like, "Hey, when are you coming to play
Yeah.
7 Days to Die?"
Yeah.
Because we were still running.
Yeah, we were like running a little over, and I'm like, I'm almost done. I'll be there in a minute. So yeah, I've been pretty consistent about that, which I had said I wanted to play more games with my friends. So I have been doing that. So there you go. So that's one thing I can say about myself, I guess. And then the only other thing I did game-wise is there's another video game that I can't tell you the name of, can't tell you anything about it. I soon can. Basically, I'm under an NDA and an embargo. It's a new video game that's coming out soon.
Oh, very good.
I can't say anything, but I will soon. It's really good. That's all I'm going to say. Don't want to get myself in trouble, so we're just going to move on.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Okay.
You're forgetting something in your recap.
What am I forgetting?
Your new toy.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, it has been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess technically that is gaming related because I've been cranking out terrain left and right, which, matter of fact, got one that just finished. Yes.
Drac bought a printer.
I did. I bought a 3D printer. Took the plunge. I've been printing terrain and minis like crazy.
Which look pretty good from the pictures you sent.
Yeah. I've been pretty impressed so far with what I've been printing.
Well, you did get the top of the line model.
Which I didn't realize at the time. I just did some research and everybody was like, get this one. And then because I had talked to you about it a while ago because I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a 3D printer. Which one should I get? And you like told me the one to get.
Like I told you, the basic starter model that really is all you need to do to get to.
Yeah.
No, Draco's the complete opposite and gets the top of the line. Bamboo Labs model. Yeah,
I'm like doing research and I'm like, but everybody's saying this one is so much better and the print size is so much bigger and you can do bigger and better stuff. And I'm like, I'll get that one. And then I got it and then I showed Beaker a picture and he's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's better than mine.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? So I've been printing just tons of, I've been doing lots of terrain stuff because my friend and I are going to start playing. I've talked about it before. There's a game called Silver Bayonet. It's a skirmish game that's set in the Napoleonic Wars, but it's like horror themed. There's like vampires and werewolves and weird stuff going on. And
of course,
you know me. And so there's like a bunch of terrain that we need for that. So, and then there's a source book for that that just came out that is set in Egypt. So I printed, I'll have to insert a picture over on the YouTube. It's I'm pretty impressed with it. I printed this pyramid that is freaking amazing.
You did show me a picture.
Yeah.
It did look nice.
That's the coolest thing I think I printed so far. So I've been, that's kind of gaming related because I've been, basically everything I've been printing has been all gaming stuff like for terrain and stuff like that. So there you go. Cool. 3D printing fool, basically. We currently have 12 supporters over on our Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, you can simply go to the donation page. You can support Players Alliance, which is the podcasting network we are a part of on Patreon. That money is used for podcast hosting, website hosting, to pay for our live shows, which normally we go live, but anyway. And just basically various stuff. That's all that money's. A couple of people that asked me about that. That is all that money is used for. It's anything related to the websites, the podcast, because we also do Lotro players as well. I run both sites, and that money all goes to DDO players and Lotro players for the websites, podcasting, hosting, all of that. So none of that money is used for anything else. Some people have asked how you can donate without going to Patreon. You can simply do that by sending me an email at drac@DDO Players, and we can talk. There are several different ways you can do that, and a couple of people have done that. Much appreciated. Once again, all that money just gets put into the kitty for all of our hosting and everything. So always means a lot. If you can't afford to donate, understand that. That's cool. Not a problem. You can help us by like leaving us a review on your podcast app of your choice. That helps us. Like us on our YouTube videos, comment on our YouTube videos, because that pushes us in the algorithm. All that stuff helps too. So you don't necessarily have to do a monetary donation. Anything like that also helps the website. You can also leave comments on the videos. We read them on the show, or over on the articles that we post over on DDO Players. We read them there. We don't have any of those this time around. You can also send us an email. That is podcast@ddoplayers.com. If you would like to send an email about anything, we'll read it and talk about it on the show as well. The Players Alliance does have 2 live shows normally. Lotro Players News is Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. God love them. They are always on. They always broadcast. It's like amazing that they can keep their schedule. Of course, there's like 3 or 4 of them that usually do the show. So, but they're always there, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We vary when we go live or record, because see the beginning of the show, it's all my fault, but that's neither here nor there. If you want to join us for our live shows, it's ddoplayers.com/live. That'll get you over to our Mixler page where you can listen to us live if we are broadcasting live. And that is it for the show. Anything else you want to add?
No, just have fun with your D&D, whatever version you're playing.
Or I would highly recommend Shadow Dark.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to be talking about Shadow Dark soon, because I'm going to be running a Shadow Dark game soon, and I might be running one online as well. I'm going to talk to you about that too.
Right, I'm there.
Couple things I'm going to talk to you about Shadow Dark, but yeah. So
and join us for Cruising with Drac.
Yes, I was going to ask you to plug that and plug your Twitch and all that fun stuff.
Well, you can usually just find us on the DDO channel, Friday nights, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Just look for Cruising with Drac.
Cruising with Drac, we will be there. And usually, like, we've been pretty consistent, other than, like, last Friday I was gone. But we're pretty consistent. We are going to play tomorrow night, for sure, as we record this, since we're recording this on Thursday night. Friday night, we are going to be Cruising with Drac, so.
Yep, so if you want to see how noob guys do Salt Marsh, and then
see how crappy Drac plays, is that what you're trying to say?
Isle of Dread, check us out.
Indeed, it's so much fun. Yeah, and then we talk about various stuff and just kind of like shoot the shit, so it's a good time. Join us, and then I will try to remember next show to link, because you have your little Twitch archive for however long it stays up, so I will link that in the show notes next show. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, if you want to send us an email, podcast@ddoplayers.com. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about the show. If you want anything to change about the show, if you want us to podcast more, yell at me. Let me know you want me to get off my butt and podcast more, and I will try to make that happen. All right, we're going to wrap it up. I was going to try to say something piratey, but I can't think of anything, so I'm just going to say goodnight.
Arg.
There you go. Walk the plank.